OpenClaw. OpenClaw.
If you live on this planet, you have internet, and you are tech savvy, there's no way that you haven't heard the word OpenClaw lately. This is a technology which exploded significantly since it was first released in November 2025. In today's video, I will show you my experiment where I tried to build a simple trading strategy using OpenClaw chatbot. I will show you what was the outcome, and I will share with you my honest opinion about whether or not it is possible to use this type of AI in your trading. Before we move to the real stuff, let me ask you for something. The majority of you watching our videos aren't yet subscribed to the channel. Simply by subscribing, you would help us grow the channel and create more videos about AI and trading in the future. So click that button, give us that support, and let's deep dive into AI trading. I'm currently on my VPS, and here I created a dashboard where I can follow the progress of my trading with a simple strategy created with the help of AI. This AI is OpenClaw. This video is not about technical implementation, so I'm not going to be explaining how to install OpenClaw. There are many videos in the internet. Also, you can visit openclaw.ai website, scroll down, and you can see different types of installation instructions. Pay attention, guys, that this is developer oriented. It's not intended to be installed by regular users, so you would need to have technical knowledge in order to install it and configure it. That's why I don't want to focus on that right now, but rather I want to focus on the trading part. So this technology was exploding, and the internet was flooded with videos about people using OpenClaw for trading, and I wanted to explore this opportunity to see whether or not it is reliable. And also I had friends asking me, do you use AI in trading? How do you use it? Can AI trade automatically instead of me? And I will try to answer all those questions today. So going back to my dashboard here, you can see the performance of my trading strategy, and actually here you can see my chat with OpenClaw. I have created a trigger which every hour sends this message to OpenClaw, and OpenClaw answers whether or not it is good or bad time for trading. The strategy which I use is simple. I asked OpenClaw to browse the internet and to find popular strategies that use indicators and that it can implement, and this is the strategy which it created. Eurodollar H1, and it uses the exponential moving average crossover plus RSI momentum. You can see when it buys and it sells when the price reverses, and we use here the AI to validate with the market context. So basically what's happening, every hour my automation sends this message to OpenClaw and asks it to confirm or deny that it is good time for trading. And you can see here my account, the trades, when it started, and actually this is the first trade. Once it's completed, I updated my code, so the Claw bot to place this comment, and I can see which are the trades which are placed by OpenClaw, and you can see what's the performance so far. The strategy is simple. I explained it already to you. This was the strategy developed by the AI, and you can see the trades. We had some profitable trades, some losing trades, and eventually the last few trades was on a profit, and overall the performance is profit of $6.12. This is more than 3% in the small $200 account, but after the costs we are left with $3.14 pure profit. This is running for 18 days, so still a decent performance, although the majority of the trades seem to be losing and just the profitable ones were with bigger profit. Also, you can see here on the chart how the strategy performs, how it places the trades, when it opens and closes them. It is very straightforward. And going back to the dashboard I created, and if I go to the signals here, you can see this dashboard, and actually what's happening here, every hour the system checks whether or not it's a good time to enter the trades, and you can see here the buy signal, the hold signal, the sell signal, and using these trading signals, my Claw bot is capable of executing the trades. But in order for this to work, I had to run HTTP server, and also I had to install few things, and one of those was the MetaTrader 5 HTTP API skill from here. And guys, I'm pausing this video for a while to tell you something very important, and pay attention to this. Before you're jumping to install any skill from the Claw Hub, be sure that you have verified that this skill is legit, because what happened a few weeks ago was that researcher found that many skills in the Claw Hub, they were exposing data from the computers of the users, and actually they were stealing users' data, so many people got scammed. Eventually OpenClaw released few updates. Also NVIDIA released a solution for this, but the bad things already happened and there were people who were affected, so pay attention to this. If you're not tech savvy, be careful with this type of technologies. But let me further explain my setup now. So from the Qual Hub, I found this queue and installed it. And actually, this creates a bridge between your Qual bot and the MetaTrader platform. And this one seems to be secure by VirusTotal and by OpenClaw. It is scanned, so it's supposed to be safe to be used. And you can see how it works, what it requires. And this is important. We have here the setup, the steps, what it does. But basically, we're running a local HTTP server. It uses Python for this. And using the server, we place their orders on the MetaTrader platform. This is the bridge. This is the skill we use. And this is how my Qual bot is capable of trading. Now, something important is the usage. If I go here and scroll to the last 30 days, you can see the average cost per message. You can see different stuff here. And you can see actually how much it costed me to run this so far. And you can see it is less than $4 for just 17 days of running this. And on the left side, you can see the models I have been running. I have been running tiny, not very good models because of the cost. You can see there isn't a single frontier model like quote Opus 4.6 or GPT 5.4, which are currently the best and most popular models on the market. So you can see I tried to save from the cost because every hour we were prompting the Qual bot to check what is the market sentiment, and this was using AI credits. And guys, here comes the first misconception about people using AI. Theoretically speaking, it is possible to create a strategy, yes, but realistically speaking, the question is what would be the cost for that? You can see that I tried to make the things tiny. I tried to save from the spend, so my robot isn't checking the market every minute because it will be extremely costly, like few $100 a day. I made it to check the market every 1 hour, and still if we deduct the cost from the profits, we will be left with almost nothing here. Probably we'll be able to create a better strategy with some advanced model, but then where will be the balance between the cost and the profits? And when I started this experiment, I wanted to compare the performance of Qualbot strategy against a regular strategy. And for the purpose of this experiment, I decided to choose a strategy which I generated with EA Studio, because the use case would be simple for people who don't have real trading strategies, who don't know what to implement and what to do. They could either ask the AI create a strategy for me, or they can use a strategy builder like Expert Advisor Studio, press the generate button, the EA Studio will generate strategies with the indicators, and then you can test it and place it on your account. And let me show you the strategy I used in this experiment. So I'm here on EA Studio and I use the generator to create the strategy. You can go to the generator, you can pick the data source, you can pick the symbol, the period, the strategy properties, but these are pretty basic, nothing specific. You can go to the generator settings, play around with that one. And this was the result, one of the strategies which the generator created. There were many, but I picked that one. I backtested it and it showed good performance, and that's why I decided to show you today and to use it for the experiment. Now, what is the strategy using? It uses 4 entry indicators and 1 exit indicator. So you can see it is more complex strategy. It uses stochastic signal, Williams percent range, bears power, and stochastics again. And also it uses the pin bar for the exit rule. And you can see the performance during the backtest. And if I go to the report, and if I go to the journal actually, and to the last page, you can see the last few trades according to the backtest. But actually I placed that one on a real trading account with IC Markets. And if I go to the pricing page on our Trading Space website and then to the discounts tab, you can see here that we have managed to arrange a discount on the commission per watt, $1.50 discount on the commission if you open an account through our link. So you can click on that one, and here on this page click on Get Started button, which will point to the IC Markets website for your region, and you can open that account and take advantage of this reduced commission. And when I talk about account types, I picked the raw spread account in this case. First of all, because raw accounts are perfect for trading robots, they offer fast execution, lower spreads, and here we don't have a minimum deposit, so I was able to experiment with just $200 deposit. Also, they offer high leverage here, you can see up to 1,000, and plenty of tradable instruments. I'm pretty satisfied with this account type, and let me show you now what is the actual performance of the EA Studio robot. And here's the account which I have opened. As you can see, this is a $200 account. I'm trading multiple robots here, but what's important, guys, guys, pay attention to the first two charts and to the magic number. This is the same robot which I showed to you within EA Studio, and when I backtested the robot, I found out that it is capable of running on multiple currency pairs, and in this case I'm using it on New Zealand Swiss and CAD Swiss, and you can see that for the time being, almost the same period for which I have been trading the OpenClaw bot, this EA Studio strategy made 3 profitable trades on the New Zealand Swiss and 3 profitable trades on the CAD Swiss. Overall, above $10 of a profit, which is almost twice the profit that we got from the OpenClaw bot. You can see no losing trades at the moment, so I can say that I'm very satisfied with the strategy and the way it works. And this was the experiment I was running, comparing OpenClaw trading strategy against another strategy created with EA Studio. I decided to make the experiment like this because I wanted to show you the most common use case when you don't have a trading strategy and want to use a tool to automate it. You saw what is the performance with the AI strategy, and you saw what is the performance of the strategy generated with Strategy Builder. What's my final verdict? Is AI good enough to beat expert advisors? I don't think so at the moment. Probably at some point in the future AI will evolve enough so it can perform better. But currently, with the type of technology that we have and the way it works, I don't believe that AI is capable of running trading accounts solo, and definitely not better than an expert advisor. Probably you have seen those hyped videos on YouTube about people building trading strategies with AI, but what's missing in these videos, guys, is the fact that this costs money. And I ran this experiment with one low quality model, and it still burned $4 or $5 for about 2 weeks. You can imagine what would be the outcome if I run a frontier model here like GPT 5.4 or the latest Opus, which outperforms the other models, but it burns tokens like fire. Also, if you don't have a strategy to automate, you will purely depend on the AI. Also, there is tech knowledge involved in the whole process, so it's not enough to have a strategy to automate. You need to know how to set up the AI, how to run the local server, how to connect to the MetaTrader platform, and this requires a lot of time and setup. I do believe that at some point the AI will evolve enough so it can be used for trading, but currently this is not the case. And the best use case I can think of using AI in trading at the moment is to use it as confirmation for your trades, something which has already been done in the Architect Algo, and I have made a review about that robot. I will put the link at the end of this video. So let me know your thoughts about OpenClaw and how you use AI in trading, if you use it at all. I would be very happy to chat with you on this trendy topic. Thank you for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!